Okay, I do not see myself. My computer has problems. Okay, we're gonna do this anyway. Hi, everyone out there. Welcome to another segment of What the Fuck Music. As we all know, it's been a while since my last video. I picked a horrible time to start doing these, but I was really excited. But of course, this is the season of me having auditions and recitals and all that fun stuff. So I'm trying my best to sit down and do one of these when I have a chance. I'm trying something a little bit more freeform this time. So if I start stumbling over my words, you have my apologies. But I figure if I just kind of read and let the knowledge soak into my head, then I can just talk at the camera and then hopefully make something coherent out of it. If we're lucky, I'm probably going to end up being scripted again, but whatever. Okay. So, today, our topic is something that probably not many people know about unless you're a music major and have taken an in-depth music history class. But it's a pretty fun tidbit of history that we really don't know anything about anymore. I am talking about castrati, or castrato. Let's see, it's Italian, it's an Italian word, so castrato is one of them, castrati is plural. And if you can kind of tell from phrasing, there's something similar to castration in there. That's because a castrato is a castrated man, specifically a castrated man who sings, who is a singer. Like you would call them somebody a soprano or a mezzo-soprano, tenor, baritone, etc. You would call a male castrated singer a castrato. Castration is something that has been around for a while, from like really far back. We all know about eunuchs. We can all talk about Varys from Game of Thrones is probably the most popular eunuch castrated fellow in the recent culture. So I don't know if the actor's really excited about that, but hey, yeah, awesome. The reason that they start being noted as singers is because, much like in Shakespeare and his plays, women were not allowed to participate in music. And it was mostly in churches, because really, for a long time, the only kind of music was in church, and women weren't allowed to sing. There's like a quote from the Pope, a quote from some Pope at some point, saying women are meant to be silent in the church, or something to that degree. That's not verbatim. So, there becomes this need in music, church music usually, for something to fill that higher register that usually women would sing, but can't because men are stupid and won't let them sing in public. And really there are two big options as to how they can do this. They can have men perfect their falsetto voice and sing in that. If you want to know what that sounds like, just go look up a countertenor, listen to them, it's the same thing. Or they can find a castrato. Now, at the time that castrati reach their height of popularity in the music world, there's a pretty standard process for castration, and it goes like this. You find a little boy, about between 8 and 10 years old, you stick him in a warm bath, you get him drunk on wine, and then you proceed to remove his testicles. And if he's lucky, he barely remembers the experience. It's highly doubtful, though. But what happens from that is that there's less testosterone going into his body as he gets to the age of puberty. So his bone joints don't harden like they're supposed to, ends up with really long limbs, a really big rib cage, which is great for breath capacity, and then his vocal folds stay the shape of a child's. His voice never drops. And because of that, you've got a man singing with a huge breath support going through tiny little vocal folds, which makes a really nice full sound high register, but one that is still different from a woman singing like a soprano or a mezzo-soprano. Because really, it's all about sound quality and difference. The way I can compare the sound is like somebody playing an oboe as to somebody playing a clarinet. There's slightly similar sound production, but they end up both sounding different, and the range is the same, but still, again, sounds completely different. And that's kind of what we have going on here. Now, I cannot tell you what a castrato sounds like. You can guess, people have guessed as what it would sound like. There's a really, really old recording which does not do any justice to what people think castrati actually sounded like. If you go see the movie Farinelli, which is about this famous castrato singer named Farinelli, they have a audio simulated recording of what they think castrato sounds like, and it's really very interesting. So because castrati are able to sing in full voice, not in falsetto, with these very small vocal folds that give them a really nice high sound, they get in really high demand, especially as opera becomes a really big thing in Italian culture and culture in general. Starting with the very late 1500s into the early 1600s, opera explodes in Italy, spreads out through Europe, becomes the thing to do. Like, think about how movies were to the 20s, or how social media is to us today. It is the thing to do. And that was opera, and that was its opera in its glory. And castrati were welcomed there, and they were treated like rock stars. And this is even after the fact that women are now able to sing at this point in things, slowly but surely getting inserted into music. And actually it didn't really cause a problem, because castrati were playing mostly male roles. There are very few female castrati roles. Everyone decided that this is the height of being a man to sing with this high voice, which is kind of amusing, because I doubt anyone would think so today, but it is fascinating. Because of that, we have a ton of operas with these male leads up in the female register, what we would think is the female register today, but at that time it was perfectly normal, as long as you were castrato to sing that register. Eventually, we do reach a point, though, where the shit hits the fan, because castration then ends up becoming basically an epidemic running throughout Italy. It's a problem because if you are a castrato and you are a really talented singer, you are treated like royalty. You get all these roles in operas, you get all this attention from everybody. You also can have sex with whoever you want, because you cannot get any of the women pregnant. Well, you also can't get any of the men pregnant, but that really wasn't a concern to begin with, so not necessary, I guess. So basically what's happening is a lot of people out there are castrating their sons, hoping that they'll grow up to be awesome musicians and basically rock star royalty in the time of opera. The problem with that being is that you have no way of knowing if your child is going to be an awesome musician when they're 8 years old. So, at the height of its popularity in the 1800s, there's rampant castration going on in Italy. So much to the point that it eventually gets outlawed in 1870. So that's it. No more castration. Goodbye. See you later. One of the silver linings from the proverbial death of castrati, except, for anybody who has been castrated at this point, is that there's a bunch of roles open up to new singers that were not allowed to sing them before. Mostly countertenors, who again are people singing in falsetto, and then women, usually mezzo-sopranos, and these are called pants roles because they are cross-dressing, they are pretending to be men, and that's really normal. A lot of things are strangely normal in opera and have been done for years and decades and centuries, before there was any of this debate over transvestites and gender roles and all of that stuff. But that's a talk for another day. So now, if you go to a Baroque opera and you see a woman cross-dressing as a man, you'll know that she's the result of mutilation being made illegal. Yay! Okay, so that's the end of this segment of What the Fuck Music, the Castrato edition. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please reblog, like, share, whatever you like, whatever way you prefer to show your support or appreciation. Also, just want to say a quick thanks to my 8 followers. Thank you very much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I really appreciate it. I'm really taking a long time to get this blog off the ground, but it's slowly happening, and once February is over, it'll be a little bit better, and I'm gonna start getting these out, every week. Now I'm gonna stop talking. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my fun and informative video. She said so modestly. I'm gonna head off now, but I'll see you all soon, I'm sure, because I can see you all in my mind. Anyway, bye. Goodbye.